I can feel some gas.
Okay, we're live.
Carson threw me pipes. Everybody, welcome. Top of the afternoon to you. My name is Brian Patrick McCarthy. Can't get much more Irish than that, am I right, guys? Maybe Brian Patrick O. McCarthy.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to
Sitting to my right is Hollard O. Hollywood. And of course,
Yes, everybody gets to know
Adam
it.
Mick.
Adam O'Henniker.
Yes,
Adam O'Henniker.
Adam Mick producer Henniker.
Uh-huh.
It's just like really fuck it up.
McDusiker.
Oh, yeah, there's a bomb on your bus.
McDouglicuddy.
Everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Brian McCarthy. You are either listening or watching the Brian McCarthy interview show. Stage right is Adam. Stage left is our very sweet dear friend, Hollywood Howard, who is
coughing into the microphone.
Oh, Howard's got AIDS.
Gonna have to throw away that windscreen.
Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to throw that microphone into the
throw it out
into Mordor's, into the very chasm of Mount Doom.
That's good.
Yeah. So Howard requested
I'm drinking
a hot toddy. So
it's excellent.
It's berries, which is an actual Irish tacky I am. I actually order this stuff from a Irish. It's an Irish gourmet food store. It's like one aisle, not a whole lot of good food in Ireland. Got one aisle. It's 3 feet,
an aisle,
3 feet long.
Irish gourmet.
Got black pudding on the left and cirrhosis medication on the right.
Yeah.
Don't forget soda bread
and knee pads for the priest.
And soda bread.
And knee pads.
Soda bread and knee pads.
And soda bread.
You know, my wife makes the fuck out of soda bread. She's a very good baker.
Does she?
So
she's not Irish.
She's got a little Irish in her.
A little.
Oh,
a little.
Get it?
Oh, I got that.
Whoa. Oh.
That was good.
Her birthday.
You're taking that stuff Joe took for the State of the Union. See, I got it in. I worked it in.
Poor Howard.
I worked.
Poor Howard.
I worked
Howard,
it in early. I worked it in early.
You're probably the smartest. You're the smartest dope.
Jew at the table.
You're the smartest dope I know.
I'm the smartest Jew at the table.
Well, yes. Well, to be sure. Let me look around. I don't see Albert Einstein here.
His birthday was a couple of days ago.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Right?
Considering his age, he ain't doing bad. He was born in 1879.
He was born in 1879?
Yeah.
He got a lot of pussy off that atom bomb.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody?
Are you kidding me?
Did anybody see Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I saw
That's with an
OPP.
Oh, what do you call it?
You know me.
Not an umlaut.
It's Oppenheimer. He was Irish.
Oppenheimer.
Well,
right.
today he was Irish.
Today's Irish.
Right. I heard
Irish.
The gay porn version is called Oppenheine.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's correct. You're correct.
That's referring to a guy's asshole.
1 through 5.
Right. Yeah, you want an atom bomb?
Is that what that stands for?
I got a missile of
Heine.
Heine means your
asshole? They call them in the locker room.
Yeah.
You ever see that was German?
You ever see The Day After with Jason Robards?
No, I don't watch that shit.
Why?
The only one I ever saw.
Go ahead.
When I was about 10, at the time of what's this thing that's in the background?
Darby
O'Gill.
Darby O'Gill.
Darby O'Gill in 19.
Walt Disney's Darby O'Gill.
Late 1950s.
No Jews, no colors. We'll take your we mix though. Walt Disney hated
what we call
black
MAGA,
people.
baby.
Yeah,
America was great.
That's right.
Anyway, so I saw one apocalyptic film. It's the best one ever made, and it's the most
on the beach.
Subtle and understated. Exactly.
That's right.
It's
I got
brilliant.
it. Yeah,
brilliant.
On the beach. It's a story of guys, a whole cloud of nuclear waste, and there's a submarine. They down in Australia. It's a great book too.
Neville Shute wrote the book, and then they made the movie.
You ever meet his
atomic war destroys civilization?
You ever meet his brother? You ever meet his brother Parachute.
Bada boom.
Yeah, the whole.
Anyway, on the beach is brilliant.
Yeah. No, that is a good
But I
one.
haven't seen all that other noisy shit. No.
Well, what's funny is they made something in the early 80s called The Day After, and it's about a nuclear bomb.
Nuclear. Say it correctly.
Nuclear. That's right. Sorry. Irregardless. Right.
It is nuclear?
Nuclear.
Well, of course.
It's nuclear.
Haven't you ever heard any speeches by President Eisenhower?
or George W. Didn't he call it
or George
nuclear?
W.
Well, nuclear.
He studied at the Eisenhower School of Rhetoric.
I thought for a second I had been saying it wrong. I was like, wait, was it
all
nuclear?
these years?
All the, you know how I'm always talking about nukes.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I'm
so
going on and on about nukes.
I always call your farts atomic.
Yeah.
Not nuclear.
Oh, thank
atomic
you.
farts. Those were good.
When we go to the movie,
when we were kids. You get those at the movies. Atomic farts.
Are you talking about the atomic warheads?
No, atomic farts. They were called those little candies.
I don't know.
No,
You're too young.
yeah, you don't remember
what
atomic
I don't know
fart.
what the fuck.
Howard only
I remember
knows.
the atomic warhead, the sour warhead.
Yeah, but they came from atomic fart, and then they
Okay.
changed the name.
Ah,
There is a little chocolate candy that has a very, very un-PC name
Oh, it's good.
for it. Do you know? Have you guys-
chocolate
Yes,
candy.
nigger bababies.
Okay.
Oh, my God, I remember
We're on
those.
YouTube. You
Oh,
can't say that.
Oh
Sorry.
boy.
Um,
He was
no,
right.
he's asking for to identify the
Jesus
name of the
Christ.
product.
Hey,
That
Nick,
was the name of the
Yeah.
product.
It was.
Was it or not?
listen. You got
No,
I-
you're
I'm-
right. Yeah.
You are using it in the appropriate context.
Yeah, I'm not
You took
saying
one for the
anything.
team.
Hey Nick,
took
if you're
one for the team.
if you're listening, I think we found our clip.
Oh my God.
There we got
Is
it.
Nick
Yeah.
of that persuasion?
No, Nick
he's
is-
the
well,
I have
Latino
to
gentleman.
apologize
He
now?
does the clips and
One exit
you
away.
know,
Well, then use
he-
it because
We are just
your readership will go
Okay.
up by a million.
Yeah.
my
our,
readership.
our readership, our subscriptions.
Yeah.
Your subscription.
Yeah, remember, folks, save your green stamps.
You know how I do my podcast route
Save
every
your.
morning.
What?
Save your.
Are you touching your nose?
No,
I'm
save
afraid he's
your-
going to
no,
say
no,
another slur
no,
now
I won't
every time he
say slur.
By the way,
pauses.
not really
Save
like-
your Dixie cups. The South shall rise again.
Is that what they say?
Streets of the Bronx, circa late 1950s. That's what we used to say. Save
is-
your Dixie cups. The South shall rise again.
I've never heard somebody,
Boy, I'm on a
have you
roll
ever heard
this
somebody,
morning.
like it's say the N word in such a gleeful, like
Yeah.
innocent
I
way.
was
It
identifying the product.
It was so
name.
innocent the way
I'll tell you,
he-
If Howard wasn't wearing 9 pairs of pants, you could see his erection. You know,
it
so-
was like one would say Yahtzee.
Well,
you know,
Yeah.
okay. To Howard's point, that was a term
Yeah,
for
sure.
candy in the in the Bronx up until the late 1990s.
There's also
it
a
was a
specific
speci-
nut that's
it was a
called,
specific a brand
sure, yeah.
of chocolate chewy candy.
That wasn't the official name, right?
It certainly
it
was.
was, yes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, a different time. You know,
It's a different time.
Yeah.
Fucking
Well,
holy!
I
It's
mean-
not still the name.
look, no, it's not.
Oh, they
No.
changed the
now
name.
Now they're
Did
called
they changed the name.
no, they're called Obama Chews, but only half the
Right.
pack.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Anybody?
that
Any-
is
anybody?
clever.
Yeah,
That's
thank
why you
Obama
tune
Chew.
into this show.
That's why,
Wow.
Queef, that's
You don't
right.
get that everywhere.
No, we really
you don't get it on Jimmy Kimmel. Couldn't even imagine saying.
I was well
There's no
for,
less
for a
thinking
variety
of
of reasons, but
Right.
so anyway,
Anyhow,
so
anyhow.
we're looking at we're talking about racist candy.
I had
from
like
the-
did I tell you about my fun kind of sitcom racism thing that happened in my building?
no.
The stairway
Oh,
of my
that's good.
stairway of my building. Like, you know, as you know, I'm in an interracial relationship, Howard.
Congratulations.
And you know, the
You're
Wait,
leading
wait,
the way.
the guy's black.
yeah,
Go ahead.
what's his name?
Yeah, Jerome or
Uh-oh.
something.
But you know, the general kind of theme is like you know, me going, people aren't that racist, you know, it's a lot of just shit you see on TV. And then my girlfriend goes, yeah, no, actually people are very racist. And I go, you know, that's kind of like if we were at podiums,
Oh,
that would
okay.
be our
Well,
our-
don't.
Podiums.
I think- well,
If you're at
I'm just saying if it
podiums.
was a debate, right?
I see.
So and I'm walking for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't take the elevator.
Uh-huh.
I took the stairs. And as I'm walking up the stairs, it on every single landing in the same spot, N-word with the hard R, right?
The
Like-
hard R.
Like almost like Howard
Yeah,
wrote
don't
it, right?
say it, but
With the
yes.
hard R, every single thing. And I thought, well, this is not good for my case
No,
at all.
not
Because
at
I'm
all.
always saying people really aren't that
Okay.
racist. She's saying they are. And go ahead.
Devil's
Especially
advocate,
because she
Sure.
did it. She put those. Yeah.
think-
you
think it
was a
Yeah.
self-loathing.
I think
Jussie
it's a
Smollett
Yeah.
kind of
Uh-huh.
situation?
Yep. Smollett.
Devil's advocate. Is this
Right.
maybe some sort of old timey fire exit thing? Underneath it, did it say like Dago and like Kike or something?
no, it was
like
a blank
Hey,
wall.
watch your language.
sorry.
It was a
I didn't know you were Italian.
good question, but no, it was a blank wall, and then in Sharpie it just said the word
Times New Roman. What was the font?
Oh,
hand
sorry.
Okay, script.
Excuse me
script.
for
Yeah.
calling out.
So
That's okay.
every floor, exact same spot, and I'm like, oh, you know, of course, like selfishly, this is not good for my case,
No,
right?
it's not.
No, but
This is
that's
not good.
probably what we call graffiti.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
some
yeah,
drunk
yeah.
guy probably visiting
Some
somebody.
Irish guy
Right.
visiting.
Well,
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
I was telling you guys
Most
that.
of them are
Listen,
drunk.
Sure.
you know.
Hey,
Okay.
first floor is for them people. Second floor is for them people.
Yeah.
Third floor for them people.
Right. So I
They
like
ruined sports.
I
They did.
get into my apartment and I text the super. I'm like, I'm like,
Uh-uh.
just let him know because I'm like, she hasn't seen it yet. It's mostly
Wait. Is this fresh?
This is yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I
think-
mean, at
you-
the time of the story,
You
yeah.
take the stairs fairly often.
I don't remember why I took this. There was
Well,
like
my
it was
point
taking
is-
a long time.
It's like you often enough where like a week ago you would have taken the stairs and didn't see the words.
right.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
These were
I'm
like dusty
I
old.
think I can like sneak under the radar without her seeing it and being like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then I try to text the super. He's like, oh shit, I'll get on that. And I'm like thinking, what's the likelihood that she's gonna take the stairs? Because we like never
Why?
take the
Because those
stairs.
people are lazy.
I mean, I didn't
God.
want to
That's the
say it.
implication that
I
I'm
didn't want to
getting.
say it, but that's
Where
also
am I
that's the
today?
other part of my argument.
That's the
Yeah,
implication
yeah.
that I'm getting.
And then wouldn't you know it, of course, the fucking one day that she for some reason was like, yeah, the elevator's taking a long time.
well,
takes
you
the
know,
stairs.
women's intuition.
Can you believe this? And she's taking photos.
She
and-
intuitioned it. That's why
Yeah.
she took the stairs.
right.
She got the vibes from you that something was amiss.
You think?
Women are.
I think it was
are
just
like
maybe the
that.
elevator was taking long, and which may be why the gentleman that wrote that was maybe so angry.
Gentlemen,
I'm assuming it was a guy.
Yeah.
but why do you use the term gentleman?
Because it's kind of like when Congress, when they go the
Humor?
gentleman, gentlewoman.
Yes, but that's in Congress, not this.
incongruous.
Assembled, disassembled.
Yeah.
Irregardless.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, you know, if I may, you know that usage is so inappropriate because that's what you hear on CNN or MSNBC when they've just
Gentlemen?
announced that some male has committed, mass murder and say, well, the gentleman was taken to prison.
the Queen's
That's
man,
not. This is not. Gentleman is not used in
a
that
stairway
way.
drunkard.
I
A
have a
scumbag, maybe, but not.
I have a funny one for you. I may have
I've
told.
become more conservative, by the way, than I used
I
to.
don't think it was possible. I have a funny one, I think, but I may have told the story maybe once.
Yeah, let's lighten it up now.
But-
Can we lighten this up?
So my grandmother passed, loved her dearly. She passed, but yeah, exactly. Nobody puts it. I have some of her stuff
Do
in
you
the
have it
kitchen over there.
Oh, I
Right.
want to touch it
She was-
so I can get
She was
some
so.
vibes.
She was born in like 19.
There it is, right there. That was on every single
He's gonna go.
every single landing.
He's gonna go
with all
jerk-
due respect, I think
right.
he didn't do the complete sentence. That was the
What?
beginning of a sentence.
What?
That's not just
Well, it's just one word.
They meant to do a
Just
whole
one.
sentence
Yeah, it's
or
just
a
one
phrase,
word. Yeah.
like
Actually-
suck or something.
Here's
like
like maybe
that. They
please
didn't do the whole thing.
maybe please recycle.
Well, that was my argument. I said she didn't.
Comma, please.
she-
recycle.
I said they didn't specify.
That's right.
right. That's
No.
not necessary.
Yeah.
No.
You
And
know.
why are we assuming that it was
It's-
a male who did that?
It's very
I mean,
hard to
I don't know.
defend that.
could have been a
word.
trans-
No, it's especially when you're
transvestite
constantly
or
telling your
something.
black girlfriend people aren't that
Yeah.
racist. And
Howard's making a good point. It could be
Oh.
a transvestite.
did I get an earful?
I bet you did.
Why
Yeah.
Why would you get an earful?
Because
Because you're
'cause
wrong on
I'm-
that issue.
yeah,
That's proof for that.
I guess I just didn't think that there would be such concrete evidence of
Okay.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Maybe if both of you didn't betray your own race,
Right.
then you wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, it's
Anybody?
just-
You
say
don't mean
race
both
traitors.
of us.
Yeah.
You mean
You know
them.
what? You know
Yeah.
what's funny? Now
Not
I'm starting-
me.
You're fine.
I'm starting to think maybe she fucking did it.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
like the
That's
Justin.
what I said.
like a
You got to think like a criminal
right.
attorney.
She said this is MAGA country.
That's right.
So let me tell you this grandmother story. 'cause
How do
it-
you
Uh-huh.
know that she didn't do it?
I don't. But
Right.
go ahead, Brian.
Okay.
Did you find a Sharpie next to her pack of Newports?
She had a noose around her neck when
Right.
she came home from work,
Yeah.
and she was covered in bleach.
Uh-huh. They tried to
Oh.
whiten me,
She
boss.
she had gotten attacked by a Nigerian in whiteface.
Yeah, sounds like 12 years a
Is
liar.
she African American, if I may ask?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the thing.
No,
is,
I mean
yeah.
she's not African, new immigrant from Africa.
She's well, her genetics are, but she got here a little different mode of
Yeah.
transportation, if you know what I'm saying.
On the airplane?
Let's just
Not
say
exactly.
below deck.
Not exactly.
Oh no, so that's
Wasn't exactly a
African American.
carnival
She's-
cruise.
American.
Yeah,
Not
she's
a
black
new
American.
immigrant.
By the way, I will. If you've taken a Carnival cruise, not that different. Okay,
I've heard.
I'm telling you
I've
right
heard
now.
it's not great.
On their brunch buffet, it is domestic Nova. Hello.
Oh my god.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get.
Not a
let-
caper in sight.
Let me off in Nassau. I'll swim home. Okay. Okay, everybody. All right. Let me tell you my fucking grandmother thing. It's funny.
Oh, you're still holding on to that?
well,
okay,
I mean,
go
Jesus,
ahead.
I'm trying to get out of this old.
Go ahead.
He's
go
more
ahead.
he's
I
more
mean-
harboring it.
So here's what happened. So my grandmother, All right. Her husband passed away when I was very young. So she had a couple of
Mhm.
boyfriends, over the years and years. This guy, Mr. Harry, for a long time. Great,
Harry.
great
Harry.
guy. This motherfucker had like
Ooh.
all these Rolexes. A lot of fun, Mr.
Mr.
Harry.
Harry sounds like the kind of guy that would always have a spot on his lap open.
Yeah.
The middle of his lap. Is that what you
Mr.
mean?
Yeah.
His last
Yeah.
name was Harry. His first
No.
name
Come
was
sit
Harry.
on
Okay.
Mr. Harry's lap.
Mr. Harry. This story is not about Mr. Harry. I will
Yeah,
not
but
have
we
this-
need to settle.
Go
this
ahead, I'm
before
I'll
sorry.
we
let
go
you
on.
scream the N-word before you disparage Mr.
Jesus
Harry.
Christ.
He's
Is
the
it
only-
Harry or Harry?
He was the only man that cared about me. Anyway,
Ah,
Really?
well,
Was
that
Mr.
counts.
Harry was a good guy?
he was nice to
That
me.
counts.
Oh, good.
That
No, trust
counts.
me.
No, that's
I was a small room for that timeshare conference. So anyway,
Whoa.
so my Mr. Harry passes away, God, in the late 80s probably. And then my grandmother, never had another like a gentleman friend like Mr. Harry, but here and there she'd date from time to time. And one Easter, she was dating this guy who his name was like, I'm fucking it up, but it was something like Wally or Willie. And my grandmother was like a very proper, very, very, look, she's a great woman.
Willy
great.
Wally.
And so my grandmother lived in this place called Stella Maris in Maryland. It's like it was one of these places where you would go and you have an apartment, and then as your needs for care would go, you'd end up,
Right,
in the dumpster in the back, at the end of it all. But so she was there forever. She was there for like 30 years probably. And so this was when she was still in an apartment. She was still driving. So it was Easter. My aunt was hosting Easter, so she brings this guy, and he was a mailman, and he was like skinny as a rail, and he had this big shock of white hair, and he had this really thick Balmer accent. So it was already, my grandma was already kind of horrified by him a little bit, but maybe he's tall and skinny, if you know what I mean. I don't know what the deal was, but
well, what they say.
exactly right. And he's like, I'll put some mail in your slot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
So anyway, so we're talking about Easter, and we're having dinner, and we're talking about it and everything. And then he starts talking about Easter in like the 40s and how great it was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And he goes, do you remember they used to have he goes, we used to have someone down there in Baltimore. We used to have it called the Jigaboo Parade. And I start laughing so hard.
But he wasn't saying it like this is funny. Like
He was just reporting.
Well, here's
was
the
earnestly just
okay.
reporting.
Here's what
Reporting the
I
facts.
guarantee you in
Oh my
Baltimore,
God.
it was called the Jigaboo
No,
Parade.
I
that
don't
was the
doubt that.
official name.
It was the official name of
Must
it.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Harry came up with that.
No,
No.
it wasn't Mr. Harry. Mr.
Oh,
Harry.
No, it's
Oh,
his
God,
post-
sorry.
Mr. Harry, I'm sorry if you can hear me. And
Yeah.
Mr. Harry's
Where are you?
legacy.
Mr. Harry, and nice
It was
guy
Mr.
heaven.
Harry's what do you
No,
call it?
It was
Right.
Wally, the second guy.
Mr. Wally.
Gotcha,
Well, it was
Mr.
Mr.
Wally.
Wally.
And
Mr. Wally.
And the joke is like this aunt where the house was, she was a real liberal, blah, 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 which is fine.
Okay.
But she was like, oh, I couldn't, you know,
Oh my gosh,
and
she was
my
all
grandmother's like horrified, and I'm doubled over.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm going, what was it called again?
But did you know what that term meant?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did
of
grow up in
course.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
he grew up.
fucking 22
Oh,
or
come
something.
on.
I mean, it was like,
it
yeah,
was actually your middle name.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
yeah, it was like my first
Who knew
sailboat.
that?
Right.
Yeah. Let's take the Jigaboo out. It's a lovely day. We're tacking at 10 knots.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, but then he goes, oh, they would be all dressed up in their Easter finery, walking
my
down the street, them
God.
jigaboos. And he must have said jigaboo like 9
He loved
times.
that. He
Oh my
loved
God.
And then my mother being like, stop laughing. I'm like, I can't. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened
Mr.
in,
That is a
Wally's
great
killing it,
story.
yeah, in the history of recorded.
What was that their last date?
Oh, yes. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be funny if my grandmother got the reputation as a real jigaboo lover. But
Old granny.
yeah, but she was horrified. Everyone was horrified. And again, I remember, I don't know if I defended him there. It was so long ago, but like
Mhm.
it
Free
was,
speech.
I remember saying like, look, the guy, there's something, there is like historical racism. You know what I mean?
course.
Like it's just
But of course.
like, have you ever seen that when Shirley Temple, is that her name?
Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm? Shirley Temple.
Will you have respect for the dead?
Oh,
At least that.
look on
you
his
will
face.
shit all over Mr. Harry, but
Yeah.
I bring up Shirley Temple, and all of a sudden your fucking
Shirley
dick is hard.
Temple.
He was
Oh
a
yeah,
good
yeah. Oh
man.
no, you're right.
The good chip
Yeah,
lollipop.
Shirley Temple. Shirley
Well,
Temple.
yeah, well, remember like she's in blackface and a bunch of
Sure. Tons of
she's-
blackface.
she's dancing around in blackface. So it's like now then she ended up. Is she the ambassador to some country at the end of her
She
life?
was I forgot which president. She was a Democrat.
Probably one of those African countries.
One of the Democratic presidents, ambassador to some fairly important country.
Yeah. They're like, we're
Ambassador Black.
gonna send her
Her
over
name
to
was Black, by the way.
Shirley Black. Oh, that's
her
funny.
mate, her. If I'm correct, her
Go ahead.
married name was Black because she married the chock full of nuts guy, whose name was Black.
Oh, I heard he got assaulted
Uh,
by blacks. So yeah, no.
Yeah, Black.
But if you look at racist cartoons, you know what I mean? Like
I don't look at those.
Oh God. Well, because you don't have a TV in the library.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, the group home doesn't have
I think
cable.
you need microfiche to find those.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
But you know,
Or Reddit, I guess.
Reddit. Come on.
Probably.
By the way, how are you doing? By the way, with the girlfriend and everything, are you kind of treading water or?
We have a détente.
Dayton. I was just gonna say Dayton.
You like that?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite words.
Yeah. Generally, I'd have to summarize it as détente.
Okay.
Okay.
Could be better, could be worse, but considering
It's-
all things, it's good. Yeah.
And at this
Okay.
point,
I mean, considering
We'll
right
take
now.
it.
and
We'll
we're,
take it. Yeah.
and we're through the worst of the winter now.
Yes.
So
spring is
Sure.
spring is
spring
springing.
is Tuesday night in this time zone
Okay.
in New York at 11:06 p.m.
Now I
The
know
vernal
Okay.
equinox.
I know that you like your charts. How are
I
these
love my
stars?
charts.
Big
Are-
on
All right, here's what's happening.
celestial,
Okay, hold on.
First of
here we
all,
go.
let me give
events.
you a historic rundown
Oh,
of what's
God.
going on. Today
Star Talk.
is the Ides of March.
He is Hollywood
Our-
Howard.
Today is
Yeah,
the
Star
Ides of
Talk.
March.
Would you say that we should beware the Ides of March? What are the
I
Ides
would
of
if
March?
I were you.
Yeah, what
the middle
what-
of the month. We're called the Ides in the
Okay.
old times.
All right, I know
The
that.
middle
Are there
of the month.
Ides of other months?
There's Ide of every month if
Okay.
you want. But why are the Ides of March
Be wearing of?
remembered?
I don't know.
A little history lesson.
Please.
What happened on this day in Rome at the Forum in 44 before Christ?
Caesar was stabbed.
Julius Caesar was assassinated.
Yeah, allegedly.
And there's conspiracy theories. Bobby
Yeah.
Kennedy has some
Ah,
ideas.
well,
on
here
that,
you go.
but,
Here's some chowder for you. Here's a salad you can't toss.
Ah.
Barp.
Anyway, it's an important date because, in short, it was the beginning of the end of the Roman Republic, and the civil war set in, and the beginning of the imperial, the empire. So
Uh-huh.
it's a very important day. Now we remember it because of which author?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare,
Mhm.
Julius Caesar.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
gonna say
Act one,
Beverly
scene one.
Cleary.
It's brilliant. Shakespeare, like me, or me like Bill, believed in the forces of fate.
Sure.
So he starts all of the great tragedies from first action in act one, scene one, fate. Caesar is walking through the Forum in Rome, right? The king of the world,
Sure.
the adoring crowds, the works. And who steps out of the crowd? An old blind man.
Yeah.
And he says to
Blind
Caesar,
man.
the most powerful human being walking the face of the earth, beware the Ides of March. He was esoteric wisdom. He saw ahead. And Caesar says to him in the play, who is this get this old fool out of my way.
Now, by the way, if I can
And then
just-
it happened,
if I can
just
s-
like he said the same day.
if I can sidebar for a minute, in ancient times, they
stuff.
often thought that blind people had,
right.
powers, of,
right,
powers.
of,
Yeah.
But I love that's just that simple symbolism, right? A blind old man, right? Wise in the history, the ages.
old back
and
then
all
was
that.
probably 32.
He was about 33 or
Yeah,
40.
probably. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like, I'm on my way out.
Yeah.
All right.
Brilliant.
But by the way, blind is the least of it. Right.
Mm.
He's saying because he was in bad health for other things.
Mhm.
Now, let me ask you a question. That could not have.
No, with all due respect.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
But I
Well,
love the fact
think
that,
the toddy's
Shakespeare
kicking
used,
in.
Yeah, I get it.
very, very basic symbolism for
Yeah.
folks to understand.
A little too basic.
I love that.
I guess. Yeah.
It's like the
more-
granimals of symbolism.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose
Really
there.
mix and match.
So
Anyway, that's it.
Your
That's
symbols.
today. That's today. The Ides of March.
okay.
Excuse
All right.
me.
So, but what about the
Too much whiskey.
the skies in general? What is happening up there in the
Oh,
cosmos?
Cosmo wise.
yeah. Cosmo wise, we got a
and
big
like,
event.
What's going on with Mercury?
Is it a
You
retrograde?
guys are making
I don't know.
fun.
We're not. I'm curious.
No, Cosmo wise, a big event is coming right here too. A big event is coming right here. You know what it is? April 8th. A full
Street fair.
total eclipse of the sun.
Whoa.
You know what?
really?
I gotta
Yeah.
tell
A
you,
fantastic and very rare event.
I have
So
Whoa.
at 3.
You got a little Jeff Goldblum there.
Yeah,
It's like
Howard.
a
When I
very
put my
rare
hand up, that means
event.
I have to talk. Okay.
Right.
My brother-in-law is a huge
Brother-in-law.
astronomy guy.
Oh, good
Is he a
And
astronomy guy?
Astronomy guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Extra lean. Look at that
Yeah.
moon.
Oh, is he like that guy, like your grandma's boyfriend?
Now I'm starving.
He was extra
yeah.
lean.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So he
No.
he's
Is he
taking.
a-
Hold on. He is taking his family.
Astronomy guy.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know why we're here even. Let's just leave. He can do the show.
I can do this
He
now, folks. Oh, sorry.
he is taking his family to Austin, Texas.
Yes,
Because in the entire planet
Right.
of Earth,
right.
Austin, Texas, which has fabulous barbecue and great strip
And-
clubs. So
yes,
I've heard
it does.
Joe
Jack
DeRosa.
Ruby has a club there.
Oh.
No, that's Dallas.
Oh.
That's a gay bar. But
He was.
anywhere he would be a
I
gay
thought it was
bar.
heterosexual.
So anyway, my point is
are you going?
No, but I remember that. You
Yeah.
imagine all those weirdos in Austin with their fucking telescopes.
If I could go down,
Right.
it's fabulous. Have you ever experienced a total eclipse of the sun?
No, but I've been to a strip club in Austin.
Well, you know,
Which is better? You
It's
mean-
the
what-
closest thing. To
Which is most interesting?
I got to tell you though, once upon a time,
You guys go out.
I had light in my life. Now I feel like I'm falling apart. Nothing I can say. It's a total eclipse of the heart.
A great lyric. And I'm no fan of that kind of music.
Good
but I-
song.
that is a great
Yeah.
song and a great lyric. But really, seriously,
Bonnie
folks,
Tyler, are they right?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. I'm also gonna
who
add it
did
to
that? I
my.
don't know.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna add it to my Spotify.
let me just
so I don't
repeat this.
forget.
Okay, it's Monday, April 8th.
Okay.
It's going to start at about going on 3:00 in the afternoon. There's a band. You'll see it through the south, from
Bonnie
the
Tyler.
southwest to the northeast USA
Okay.
and up to Canada. And it'll
Ah,
last about from 3:16 to 29 or so is totality, and then it gets light again. It's an amazing, beautiful, mysterious, wonderful thing. So get outside and watch.
Okay. Was I right?
Yeah, Bonnie Tyler.
Bonnie who?
Bonnie Tyler.
Tyler.
Who's that?
She's the woman that
The
sang
one who ran the.
Totally
Eclipse. of the
Yeah,
Heart.
but who did the great rendition, or what do you call it?
I don't
Cover.
know.
Bonnie Tyler.
The cover?
No.
Mac the Knife, you mean?
No.
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
The one who made that song gigantic.
Once upon a time, I had. That's Bonnie Tyler, I guess. I
Yeah,
can't
that's what I
imagine.
thought.
Oh,
I don't know.
remembered it.
I'll look it
I
up.
don't
I'll
know
look it
about
up.
this shit, but
Talk
I
amongst
thought,
yourselves.
All right, now,
I thought it was a
All right.
different girl singer.
I have another question for you.
So that's big on the cosmological
yeah.
front. Big.
Yep.
All right,
We're
all right,
all
all right.
very excited.
And it's coming. It's 2 weeks,
Yeah,
2 weeks
Listen,
away.
Can't
Okay.
stop. Can't stop City Hall.
No.
Here's my
or the
question.
movement of the planets.
Now we know the word. Let's talk about the etymology of a word.
Okay.
A lunatic. Do you
Oh, yeah.
think lunatic has anything to do with moon?
It has totally to do with the moon.
Because Luna, I'm guessing, it's got to be
You are
something.
absolutely right.
All right. So what does it mean?
It means that when the full moon is out and people behave crazy and so on, it's a lunatic.
Oh, that's so great.
Ah,
sure.
lunatic.
Lunatic.
I
it's
get it.
also those nasty little. They get in there. You got.
Yeah.
They give
Pop.
you that
Sure.
circle on your
Lyme
back.
Yeah,
disease.
Lyme
Oh,
disease.
Fucking now I want a
I
margarita.
hate those.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Right.
Lyme disease.
Yeah. So
Invariably, when we were country people,
yes.
we would go to the country.
Uh-huh.
and
Sagaponic.
Cleo and I would be upstate in Dutchess County.
Okay.
Cleo and I would be romping around in the fields in the forest. Invariably, she escaped without a tick ever, and I would
Really?
always come back every trip.
And
I would
you'd
come
get it.
back with Lyme.
Yeah, I would get
every
a.
trip.
Well, I don't know about Lyme, but I would get
Not
I'd
Lyme,
get
but I got the
ticks.
thing. I got the
Yeah,
bite.
I
For
get
those
the
of you
ticks.
who are listening who don't live in the area, there's an area called Fire Island, which are all these little
Are you gonna
islands.
talk about all the homosexual thing now?
Well, only a very small
Oh.
part of Fire Island is
Okay.
gay. It's the
Is that
best.
true?
It's
the best part.
It's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Ocean Beach and I know, there's a bunch of straight.
Well,
Yeah,
Fire Island
I've
is
only been to like the
gorgeous.
family.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got to
the
get to the
family
gay
part.
part. That's the
Yeah,
best
I've been to the
part.
gay.
They have the shrunken forest there. I was there in my early 20s, completely fucking blasted on mushrooms. And
Wow.
I was going through the shrunken forest and I came around a corner and there was another guy just blowing another guy just in the middle of like the forest. But it was like I was in Fire Island. It was like
Yeah.
it was their turf. So I just
Of
back.
course.
I was like
Yeah.
seeing a deer in a meadow. I just backed away slowly. I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Can
I
I ask
might-
a
I might get
question
freaked
about
out.
that?
Sure. What's up?
Uh-huh.
Did he swallow?
I didn't stick around for it. I didn't want to startle
You
them
wait
and,
for the end.
and have them
I
run
thought
off
you
into
were
the
watching.
bushes.
I thought you were
Exactly.
watching.
I came upon it and then I retrieved.
You
They didn't know that.
video it.
They didn't know. This was like 1992. I would have had
You
to have
didn't film it.
yeah,
Well,
one of those giant like
Nice.
Bob, like a big Bob Crane camera
Sure.
on my shoulder, 40-pound Betamax.
I love it.
Hey guys, I need to run a cord through here. Do you guys, can one of you not come for a minute? Too late. No, but I came around, I saw what was happening. That same day, this gay friend of mine brought this girl that he was like, you're gonna like her. She's a lot of fun. And she brought a camera, as a matter of fact. And then she said, she gave me a camera. She goes, take a picture of me pissing in my hand. I was like, okay.
Wow, she
So
is a
she's-
lot of.
yeah,
He
she
wasn't. He wasn't kidding.
So she squatted on like, oh, it's all wooden, like what do you call it? Like boardwalks out there.
Right.
So she was squatting and she just pissed in her, and she was like playing in the piss with her hand. It was oddly very
I'm
erotic.
not into that. I could say and publicly, that's not my thing.
No.
Right.
Well,
Jeez
it was.
Louise.
It wasn't. I didn't.
But you know what? Not
What?
that there's any. Whatever
Here's-
if you're a consenting adult, go ahead.
Here's what I will say about that. Any girl who will let a complete stranger like hand them her Nokia and be like, hey, take a
Yeah.
picture of me pissing.
You think
She's down for a good time. Maybe you don't bring her home for Thanksgiving,
Right,
but like
you
that's
take
it.
her to the Motel
Yeah.
Fire Island.
She's a keeper.
She's a
Yeah.
keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just want to say Fire Island because
Let's say
for those of you, they had these miniature. This is for people listening. They had these or watching. They had these miniature deer.
Yes, they do.
Oh, like a
Right,
little
yes.
deer?
Tiny little shrunken
Those
deer.
little babies.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Oh.
But they're fucking everywhere
Yeah.
out there.
No,
I mean,
they're
there's
beautiful. I
like
love those guys.
you'll come down but it's weird. It's a little creepy because
Right.
they have these boardwalks, and the boardwalks are like hedges and houses, right? So this boardwalk, there's no cars allowed on Fire Island. So if you're walking down the boardwalk, you'll make a left. There'll be like 30 fucking
Well, you
4-foot high deer.
Right.
yeah, but you
Just-
can shoot them.
they shoot horses, don't they? Yeah, but
You can just shoot. The
yeah, but
deer.
I'm not.
And it's like
No, I'm joking about that.
species of like
it is, yeah.
tiny
Yes.
deer.
They have a
huh?
special name.
They
yeah,
are
they're
full
beautiful.
grown, but they're just
That's
itty
right.
bitty.
No, they're full grown. They're
I-
not babies.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
they're called dwarf deer.
Dwarf deer.
Dwarf
Yes.
deer. D
Cute.
squared. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, but the reason why
they're
I mentioned it,
beautiful.
number one, they're horribly inbred because
Yeah.
there's
Wow.
not
They have nowhere to go.
they have nowhere to
They're on
go.
an island.
And also, and like I remember maybe 5 years ago, last time I was in Fire Island with my family, we were at a friend's place and I saw one by itself and I went up to look at it
Mm.
and its entire face was covered with ticks. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, they look
That's
like,
where we get deer tick from.
yes.
Yikes.
Then they jump off
Dwarf
on
deer
you.
tick.
Yeah, but it looked fucking
Neat.
terrifying because it was like so,
Yeah, that's horrible.
it looked so cute, like far away. And I
Yeah,
got up
exactly.
close and I was like, I can't
Many
believe
things are like that in life. Looks good far away, but close up,
Yeah.
not as good.
is that a Monet or a Botticelli? Which one looks good from far away? But
No, Botticelli looks good both directions.
Okay.
So does Monet.
okay, right.
Any proximity.
Monet, so right, so good. So anyway, so for
What
those
is
of you,
that, Club 54 or something?
yeah, it's Club
Studio
54. No, it's
Moni.
Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
Well, I mean, it's a
Okay.
remake. Billy Idol made a
Yeah.
bunch of weird covers. Like,
What about
Right,
Bonnie
right.
Tyler? I thought she did that.
did we
No,
ever-
but by the way, Bonnie Tyler is
Oh.
the original.
It
is? No,
Welsh
seriously.
singer
She's Welsh.
Bonnie Tyler. Yeah,
Wow.
she was the original. So I don't know what you were talking about.
Neither do I.
remember Tom?
all right.
Remember Tom Jones?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was great.
I know a guy that rented Tom Jones's house in Bel Air, and he rented it for 6 months because they were going to knock it down. The house was called La Fontana, like the fountain, and it was this big open. It was like, you want to talk about a 70s house? It had a giant
Mm.
fire pit in the middle,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. It was right. It was this big overlooking all of the basin of Los Angeles, but it was like the guy was and it was one.
I remember he was like a filmmaker. or
Yeah, I
something,
brought a girl.
Canadian filmmaker.
Yeah, Canadian filmmaker.
Yeah.
I brought a girl to the party, and then she fucked him, and then she said he raped her. That was a
They always
Right.
say that.
I know.
I
They
feel
wanna
like
make
that's like the ghost of Tom Jones's house.
Watch no pussycat.
You know what I mean?
Tell a
It's like-
secret. I don't know
and
why.
like it wasn't him, but it just was like the house.
Yeah, he's in the back. Yeah, like poltergeist or something. Yeah.
Yes, it's
They
like,
didn't move the raped bodies.
right.
Yeah.
Like it's
My house in Hollywood is not in that neighborhood.
No,
It's much.
you're
quieter
over in
neighborhood.
Brentwood anyway,
Much quieter.
where
neighborhood.
you people are.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Gated.
That's where we.
Off of
That's where we.
Beverly
stay.
Boulevard. Only good place to get Hamantaschen and all of is Cantor's Delicatessen. I know
He
it.
knows.
I know it.
He
I'm
knows.
hip. So
He's hip to Hollywood.
I'm hip to Hollywood. So any news at the dog run? Anything going on over there?
No.
Okay. Status quo. Remember that really
Next question.
remember that
No,
really-
I'm joking. Of course, there's news. There's always news.
remember that really
There
cute
was terrible news, but I think I told you.
yeah,
Wait,
dog pass.
you wanted to
the attack.
Yeah. But there's good news.
Go
You
ahead.
see, nature and life renews.
Mm.
Aaron, who had Addie, who unfortunately and tragically died so young, got a new puppy,
Okay.
Maple, who's a very cute girl. So we're waiting for her to have her shots and so on like that, and then she's going to be at the run.
And for
And
people,
she's the cutest little puppy.
so for people listening, the
Oh.
dog run is where there was a person there whose dog had attacked, right? What
Well,
happened?
that's happened before.
But I'm saying, why the dog pat? You're referencing someone who had a dog that died. How did the dog die?
Oh no! Here's what was weird.
Please, let's get to the weird stuff.
Dog
All right.
talk.
Well, yeah, dog talk, but it's kind of life talk too. Erin, lovely young lady from Australia, showed
right.
up all of a sudden, you
It
know, she
happens.
with her dog Addie,
Who's
a big, beautiful.
Adai.
is it short for Adelaide?
I hope.
I'm not sure it was short
I hope
or if that was her name, period, or what. No,
Okay.
get this. It was short for Atlas,
Oh,
Okay.
which is really weird,
That is weird.
if I may
Because
say, because
Atlas
that's
is a
no
pretty,
female name.
and it's also a pretty short word anyway.
You know, but it's
right.
a male
No
name.
need to really
Atlas.
It's like-
shorten it.
Yeah, it's like, this is my dog Bo, short for Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
All
Your
right.
dog.
Didn't have time for the.
I never mentioned. I
second
hope she
B.
doesn't watch the show, but Atlas.
Don't
Anyway,
worry,
it
I'm
wasn't Atlas.
I'm
Should
sure
have
you're
been
fine.
Adelaide, but what?
Go
So
ahead.
they show up, and Addie's fantastic. Now, some months, all of a sudden one day they come to the run in the morning, and
Yes.
Addie is wearing a soft, very soft, what do you call it? Not a mask, a muzzle.
Muzzle.
It's
Right.
very soft.
Ooh.
It's this little. So everybody, of course, what's this about? She said, well, Addie has been eating, looks little marijuana, leftover joint
Okay.
cigarette butt kind of thing.
Roaches.
Which is
Roaches,
roaches.
yeah.
That's what we used to call them in the old days. Yeah.
Sure.
And that's, of course, no good for you and so on like that. So she put it on so she wouldn't eat them. Then several weeks after that, Addie, Cleo and I missed this by 1 minute. We had just left the run to go and play in the other place. And Addie collapses and dies on the spot. like
Whoa.
that.
Oh, wow.
But if you don't do a necropsy or an autopsy for a human, you don't know what the cause of death was. So it's horrible, but it
Wow.
might have been some
Was it
stuff that was, stored up in her brain from chewing on those little babies.
Like
I
an-
don't know.
like an aneurysm or something?
Yeah.
Now,
Huh.
was it an older dog?
No, she was 2 or 3 years
Oh,
old in
wow.
great health.
Wow.
Interesting.
No, this wasn't some ancient thing that
Right.
you're waiting, for the moment. She was 2 or 3. It was terrible.
I'll tell you the weirdest thing about that
Anyway, that's what happened.
is that
Gotta
these,
call a dog detective.
yeah,
She has to get an
are you- maybe
autopsy.
McGruff,
Fuck yeah.
McGruff the crime dog.
Yeah.
I think McGruff only does child predator things, though.
Yeah. Weirdly.
Yeah. He's like, this is McGruff. Did a kid get raped? No,
Yeah, he
click.
didn't give a fuck about dogs.
Yeah, I don't do my own kind. I don't let some other human cocksucker do that.
He's a real species
McGruff.
trader.
Yeah, it was like, right. Oh, don't let your forest fires. You're like, what are you? You're really off brand today, McGruff.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
it's
different
smoking.
animal.
Right.
So that's what happened to Addie, and then now we have Maple, who's about to come in, and so that's a development.
Hopefully, this dog isn't also a junkie.
Right.
She's only 3 months old. It's
Well,
hard to
that's
tell.
that's how you
It's
start.
early.
She
Started
comes
early.
in
That's how
with
you start young.
comes with little track marks up
Aw,
in her arm. Right.
she's so cute.
She's dragging a PlayStation 2 behind her mouth. Well, I want to buy a PlayStation 2 for
Oh my
I need
God.
heroin, bro. Here's the thing that's weird about that story. Number one, I don't smoke pot. I mean, I am Hollywood sober, I guess. Like I would smoke pot, but I don't
Good boy.
I don't fuck around
Good
with it. Well,
boy.
I mean, it's just because it's too strong. I don't need any more anxiety. It gives me a lot of anxiety.
Exactly. Well,
All-
then you don't need it.
Thank you. So my point is,
Quaaludes on the other
oh,
hand.
all day long.
Woo!
If I had
Okay.
I would suck you guys. I would put both your dicks, both your dicks in my mouth at the same time. I'd be like, blah 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 blah.
I love
but-
the primal.
yeah.
I get back to the primal.
But-
okay.
The thing that is interesting about that story, and this is where I wonder, because okay, nowadays people very rarely roll joints or blunts even because
Mm.
it's so strong. So typically, I wonder if the dog was eating like empty vape things. You know what I mean, right? Are you following? Are you following me?
Yeah. I think that's more likely
Yeah.
than roaches.
Because
Well,
go ahead.
sorry. One, we see many roaches around the park, and two, Aaron was reporting that that's what Addie was eating. She would like run up, I guess, and see her,
Okay,
chomping on
right,
this
right.
shit.
But I wonder.
So I don't know. I don't know.
No. I understand what you're saying, but I wonder. I just know that so many. I guess you can go into these. I got to tell you, I don't know what's going on in New York City because
You don't?
I see all of these stores everywhere that have giant pot leaves, like neon pot leaves in their
right.
window. But I've gone into, because my friend was coming to visit and he wanted me to buy him some pot. So I went into one of them and I was like,
So
"Do you guys sell-
vague.
you guys,
Gotta be some pot,
you guys,
Pot.
some grass.
you guys don't
Yeah,
even-
some herb.
hey, any of you
Right.
jazz,
some weed.
yeah, you got any of that jazz cabbage?
yeah, you got any
back
jazz,
there?
Jazz
you got-
cabbage.
You got any of the devil's lettuce
Yeah.
back there?
Any of you hip cats? I want to get
Right.
down on the newest Dave Brubeck. Anybody got any?
Oh.
Any
Did you,
tea
have
I
you
can-
heard the latest album?
So anyway,
The
And
new
it-
brew back.
so picture this. I went into, it's right around the corner. It's right over here. There's got this giant
Yeah.
neon pot leaf. The
Right.
fucking sign alone that it cost $10,000.
Right,
Right?
Sure.
Big pot. You go in, pop, 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 pop. I go to the guy behind the counter. I was like, I'd like to buy some of whatever this is. He goes, we don't sell pot here. I was like,
What?
I guess
Oh,
he thought
meaning like the flower. They what is like CBD or something?
it was more like I think he thought I was a narc. I think I
Right.
was.
Well,
A
you look
narc.
like a
it's
narc.
legal. You can do it.
It's not legal.
It's
though.
not?
It's a weird. It is
Decriminalized.
something weird right now. It's like
Wow.
you can people sell it, but they're not. But they're not in for. You can. It is legal to possess marijuana. It's not legal to sell it, or
Oh.
something like that. I'm telling you, it is a fucking. It is the Wild West out there because I don't really know what the deal is. But
Okay.
It's totally the Wild West, and it's absurd. You know, the West Side Spirit. You know, the neighborhood newspaper
yes,
this week. Okay, so the headline is front page: first legal, pot store opens on Upper West Side. You know how
Yeah.
many pot stores there are on Upper West Side alone?
right.
Dozens of them all over the
Mhm.
place. The first legal. This is thoroughly corrupt. Thoroughly.
Well, I think the idea was to give
Thoroughly
the
corrupt.
dispensary licenses to people that had were like military veterans or people of color or
Right.
blah blah blah
Like
blah.
you used to do to the newsstands.
Oh, Gotcha.
That's how
Right.
you used to dispense the newsstand licenses.
Yeah, exactly right. Something like that.
Yeah.
So but I don't know it until there's a federal law. I don't really understand how like I know like it used to be like in Colorado when you would drive from Colorado to like some neighboring state. I don't know, whatever the fuck's out there, Idaho or Iowa or something. When you would drive over the border, the police in that state would automatically pull you
Right.
over and just look in your car.
This
Shake
is
it
called
out.
a federal system.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some jurisdiction is federal and some is state.
Right. But I also know that like with
That's
these,
the compromise that made this a glorious country.
yeah, great. Thanks a lot, founding fathers.
Floundering fathers.
You
Oh, I
that's-
took it right out of your mouth.
That's yours. Floundering fathers.
Right.
Some fishies going on in politics.
Oh,
yeah.
there's another one. The foundling fathers.
What does foundling mean?
You know what a foundling
I mean,
is?
I know what a foundling is, but
Okay, well, that's what
Sure.
it means. It's
I know- I
playing
know
with
about
the word.
fondling.
Hello.
how about the
The
font?
fondling fathers.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
my
Oh,
kind of.
Yeah.
that's
my F
National
word.
Enquirer stuff.
All men are created horny.
Revealed the foundling father.
Put down that powdered wig.
I had almost the opposite with the dispensaries.
How do you
Because
mean?
now in my neighborhood, there's a bunch of the fancy ones, and then there's a lot of just the kind of very nice corner store
Yep.
will open up, and you're like, how are they gonna fucking pay for this selling kind bars?
Right.
But then you go up to the counter, and there's like all the CBD, and then there's like they sell the flour, they sell the
Mhm.
fucking pre-roll, they sell everything, the gummies, the juice,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I couldn't fucking
Don't
believe it.
waste.
And
Don't
I
waste.
actually went in, I was just buying like water on my way to the
Yeah,
gym,
Sure.
and
Yeah,
I'm kind of
right.
like, what is? I'm like, dude, is like CBD? Is it whatever? And he's like, no, pot, all pot,
He's like, it's
the
the
real deal.
with the
He's like-
THC.
And he had, he
Yeah.
had like, all the fucking canisters. He's like, I got, your blends,
Yeah.
I got your
He's
sativas.
like, what am
your-
I? Some kind of faggot? This is the
indicas.
real deal.
Right.
asshole.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm not back here selling you near beer.
Sure.
I got the
You
Jerry.
said a bad word there. How
I'm
are we letting that
blowing,
go by?
blowing
I
dwarf
couldn't
deer
get
in
away
the-
with the N word.
It's
You
a
could say
little-
faggot.
It's a little different.
It's no different at
it's-
all.
Well, okay.
What's the difference?
I mean,
I would. They're all. Listen,
we don't.
it's
He,
all-
What are
because
you, woke?
The difference is he could be one.
Now
and we
stop
wouldn't
it.
know.
What do you mean could?
Good Lord. Shut up.
Technically, you could
Shut
be
up your
one. What do you mean?
face.
You could be. You
Could.
could be half a one.
Oh God, I tried it. I didn't care for it.
FAG and
You ever had
FA.
a gay experience? We talked about this.
Let's
Yeah,
go
I've had
around the
some.
horn.
Yeah. You ever like a guy's pecker in your mouth?
Of course.
Really?
Who hasn't?
I don't know. Apparently,
I haven't.
He hasn't.
No
It's
way.
early in the day, but
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen?
It's St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's a big
On Ludes, you do all kinds of shit.
That
Oh,
is
shit.
so true.
Really? So you were on Quaaludes and you blew a guy?
You don't remember what
This
happened.
is a safe space here, by the way.
I know, but you don't
free to
remember
blow
what
a guy.
happened. The great thing about the Ludes is you have no memory whatsoever.
But you clearly
Well,
remember
it
blowing.
seems like you.
I have an
remember something.
intuitive memory of
You
There-
just
the
said
group that we
you
were
may have
with
blown a guy.
was mixed,
Oh,
gender-wise.
wow.
This
This
is
seems
before.
like a
This is
very-
in the days when there were two genders. Okay.
Oh, don't put this back. Let's
Yeah.
get back to
All
your
right.
Shut
gay.
up. Yeah, don't make this. Isn't a. You're not a
All right.
pundit.
Anyway,
here.
yeah. Well, I'm a pundit.
Yeah.
This sounds like a very convenient way of skirting.
I'm
the
not
fact that
skirting.
He's
He's
blown
right.
a guy.
I'm not
And it's
Gavin Newsom.
fine.
I'm not
Thank
Gavin
God.
Newsom. I'm not skirting.
Oh, good Lord.
I think we
Speaking
had.
of.
We had.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen, it was the
everybody
70s.
was all over everybody. It was the 70s.
You know, it'd be funny. You're like, it was the late 90s. I'm like,
It was the
okay.
late 2020s.
Yeah,
It was last
Right.
week.
Chumbawamba was topping
Yeah,
the charts.
exactly.
You know how it
I get knocked
was.
down. There's a dick in my mouth. What are you gonna do? Bye, Danny boy, Danny
Not
boy.
that there's anything wrong with it.
Not at all.
Okay.
Nothing.
Although I have to say, I have been not thinking a lot, but like,
You have been thinking a lot.
no, hold on.
Thinking
Let
about
me-
blowing a guy.
Wait a
Let me
minute.
finish. Let me finish. But like
Excuse me.
with this trans, you know how like trans
Oh,
porn
again with that.
is having a real moment. I tried to like give it another go just to watch, and I'm like, that the
No
dick for me is it's a deal breaker for
Yeah,
me.
and that's okay.
I know, but I feel like
It's okay.
I feel like it's
I feel like you're not progressive enough.
yeah, I feel like I'm
because-
not cool. I
You're
keep-
not cool enough.
No, it's like when you go to like when all the kids at school are talking about how they all went to see Journey
Right.
at a
Like,
concert.
it happened again.
I'm like,
God
yeah.
damn it.
I
Your-
saw
your
Journey,
flat-
what is
Your
that?
wife walks in your flash.
What does
Yeah.
journey mean?
no this band.
band.
I'm saying like
Oh,
it's like when you go to some place and everyone's like, when you were a kid and all the kids would be like, oh, what's your favorite band? I'm like, I like Def Leppard. They're like, what's your favorite song?
Right.
I'm like,
you're
I
out
like
of
the
the
Def Leppard
conversation.
song.
You're
Right.
out of the
Yeah.
conversation.
So
you
I'm
mean? You're
trying.
not-
I
The self-titled.
I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, that dick it gets in the way of everything that's happening. I don't know. And here's the thing with trans porn, the dick has to be the star. It's never like
the dick is always the star. What are you talking about?
but I'm saying
When's
it's,
the dick not the star?
what I'm saying is it's not like some ancillary like when you watch trans porn, it's not like they very much engage the penis in the porn. It's not like they just kind of move that thing out of the
You
way.
mean the
Let's get-
shots?
no, I don't know. I'm not
Focus? Is that what you mean?
Okay. What I'm trying to say is if you were to watch it, if it's not like they make trans porn where like they're trying to ignore the penis, it's always a big part. It's a bit, forget the pun. It's not a bit player. It's like, that's what the people
Yeah,
are watching
But
for.
it has to be.
I agree. But it wouldn't make any sense. It's like going to like a French restaurant and ordering the lasagna. I understand.
Well put.
Thank you.
Very good analogy.
So I'm just kind of like, but I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know. Everyone seems to love this right now. It's kind
Who's everyone?
I don't ever, the older boys, the older,
I like that you're trying to acquire a taste for cock.
well, like Joe, because
Joe who?
Joe DeRosa.
Joe Biden?
Oh, God.
Yeah, Joe.
Got
Joe
it in
Biden.
there.
Yeah, if you
Got
can-
it in again.
If he can wake up long enough to like.
Oh,
trans
you
porn.
said that, not me.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll wake you. Trust me, that'll wake you up.
Yeah. Hey Joe, you got to go get
Uh,
the State of the Union. Why don't you watch this gal sucking her own
Maybe
dick?
that's what they gave him. Some porn.
Okay.
Porn.
Secret penis.
You
They
heard
gave
it.
him the meds and then they did some.
Yeah, they had
some
a gal
porn.
tuck
Yeah.
it back and then
No,
I
or
bet-
maybe they just
pop
had
it
him
up.
watch for 5
Ah,
or 10
I
minutes.
bet Jill's,
Maybe.
bet
Get
Jill's
him
got
Jill-
bet Jill's got a nice cock on her. If you know what I mean, boys.
if you
Uh-oh.
if you're ever watching what
Go
you
ahead.
think is straight porn and then it becomes like bi porn, that fucking you'll
Yes.
become alert very quick.
But I think
It's
we
fun, right?
were talking about this the other day. We were talking
Who's
about this.
we? You and you and your daughters and stuff?
No.
And your wife? Oh.
Really?
Brian and
Thank
I.
you.
Oh,
No.
oh, I'm sorry.
Adam and I were talking. There's this genre of porn. If you watch it and the guy is really, really, really good looking and in great shape and he's all like abnormally cut and stuff,
Yeah. What
that's
is
gonna
that?
there's gonna be some gay shenanigans going on.
Oh,
with
there
that
has
guy.
to be. There has
Yeah.
to.
Like, so it's kind of your own fault. If you
Yeah,
don't,
when you can usually tell the fellas
Yeah.
well manicured.
if you,
Be. Too
if,
well managed.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you see a high wind advisory and you still get in the plane, it's
Mhm.
on you.
Back
That
in the
is right.
in the VHS
Well put.
days, I had some kind of porn compilation, and it came to the end of the
Right.
credits roll,
Compilation.
and then all of a sudden something kind of you get the fuzz, and then something
Hmm.
came on, and it was two guys and a girl, and I thought,
Okay.
Here
More
we go.
bonus.
Eureka.
Yep.
Bonus porn.
Oh my God!
And
yeah, go.
they're going at this lady, and then of course the guys started blowing each other.
And I will tell you this: when you watch that kind of porn, the minute they start hooking up with each other, that woman might as well just go make herself a sandwich.
She's
She's
just
done.
watching.
Yeah, that was
nobody
exactly.
I don't. Yeah, nobody.
I know I did.
Yeah, nobody wants to. The minute those two guys are like, "Hey, let's get the girl," they're like, "Bye, honey. Don't let the door hit you on the way out."
Right. Yeah.
Here's the most
You're now
literary
wardrobe.
You just reminded me of the most literary title that I ever saw on any porn.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was called A Cornucopia
Okay.
of Large Phalluses Being Sucked by Adoring Mouths. Come on,
A
that's
cornucopia
beautiful.
of large phalluses being sucked by adoring
Wow.
That
mouths.
is beautiful.
That's when
I think
porn.
that's got to
language.
be the title
That
of
is
this episode.
beautiful language.
That's when porn
on.
cared. That's when they cared.
That's when they cared.
Right.
In the old days, they
Yep.
cared.
Yep.
Isn't that beautiful?
I got to say, when I lived in LA, there was a dog grooming place in Thousand Oaks, not too far from our house, and it had the cleverest name I've ever seen for a dog grooming place.
Okay.
And it was so much cleverer than it even had to be. It was called Indiana Bones and the Temple of Groom.
Oh, come on.
I love that.
I know.
Beat
I
that.
love that.
And
That's literature.
it had
baby.
a big like a big painted sign of like a dog with a hat
Aw.
and like clippers instead. But it was
Right.
like it was so much more than it
was
needed
more,
to
but
be.
still.
That's
It was
so
great.
good.
I know.
I love it.
Beat that, right?
I just imagine the owners like, all right, guys,
That's
we're
fabulous.
going on a 3-day retreat to Big
Right.
Sur. When we're up before we come home, we're all going to blow each other, of course. And then I want somebody to give me the best name ever in the history of naming.
Oh,
dog.
you think they went on a retreat?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
sure.
did
Yeah.
trust falls. and
Yeah.
then-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
now
don't just come up
everyone,
with that.
everyone needs to refer to me as Dr. Jones.
Yeah,
here on out.
Yeah, Dr. Jill, for example.
They're like,
Oh,
here's how
wow.
it's got to go.
Got
I
that
want
in.
it. It's got to be like a dog, but also a movie title. You know, the first guy was like Schindler's Groom. They're like, no.
Would you say it was Indiana Bones in the
Yes.
Temple of Groom?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
God, I
Right,
love
yeah.
it.
Very clever.
Yeah.
That's good, clean fun.
I bet the second
That is
one
good.
is probably Top Groom, maybe.
Yeah.
Because what you're trying to think about
Top
is
Groom.
you got to think about like a dog in a flight suit. You know what I
Aw.
mean? Like with it standing there like that. You know, like because you're thinking about movie posters.
Yeah.
You know? But then
I like the visual. I don't
like the
I don't
name
like
either.
Top Groom.
Yeah. But I guarantee there's one guy that when they probably got back, they're like, "What is wrong with Mike? He keeps pushing like Holocaust movies." You know, he's
It
like,
doesn't work for dog grooming.
Yeah, right.
They tried that. It
he's like
doesn't work. It
the
doesn't.
pooch in the striped pajamas.
Right.
Yeah, no.
And they're like,
no,
no, Mike, what is
no,
wrong with you, dude?
no,
Why?
yeah,
No.
Mike,
Right.
I swear to God, if you pitch me Fido's list one more time,
Yeah.
you're fucking out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You're fucking out of
Yeah,
here.
right. Bridge on the river.
It's not even. It doesn't
bark.
even rhyme.
Yeah.
Doesn't
that-
even rhyme.
no,
No.
doesn't even rhyme.
Bridge on the River Bar.
Let's say hi to
Not
everybody.
bad.
You want to say hi to some folks?
Yeah.
Oh God, where does the time go?
We
We're
just
waiting.
flies and flies.
Yeah, let's say hi to
Wow.
the folks, and then we'll go behind the. We're gonna go behind the meeting curtain.
Okay.
Dr. Spurgenberg,
Hello,
our
doctor.
resident
Hello.
doctor.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
He says, "Happy St. Pat's."
Yes.
Tura lura lura.
Cora
Aw.
Lorelei.
Smokey.
Smokey buddy.
Smokey says you're late.
I know.
We were a couple minutes late. 'cause I
Sorry.
said 12:15.
Sorry, Smoke.
Chris says afternoon.
Hello, Chris.
Ted says gals.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey, baby.
Chris says he did his part, ran through both playlists for this week. How many hours are we needed? I think we're still down about 900 hours.
I know,
we
we're-
need. So, Chris, if you can help us out,
Yeah, Chris.
uh,
go to the local Best Buy and just set them all up.
and just go to town.
Yeah, go to town.
I don't know though if it's the same IP address if it'll work. Let's see. Rohi. Hi to Rohi.
Hi, Rohi.
Our boy Nick says, "Welp, I guess I can't make clips out of the first 20 minutes. LOL, JK, BRB, love you."
He's the best.
What is
all
all
that abbreviation?
Nick is the guy that
mean?
does the clips, and we
Yeah.
told him specifically to make a clip out of your little
Yeah.
outburst
Yeah, yeah.
earlier.
Oh, right.
So I hope you're not running for office anytime soon.
Yeah. I've heard of the.
I wanted to, but
I'm going to
not
call this
going
the
to. I
ACL
don't have the
Jew.
money.
There
Ah,
you go. There you
All
go.
right, all right.
Paul says, Atlas, that dog must have had
Go ahead.
the weight of the world on her
You
shoulders.
son
Oh,
of a
very
bitch.
clever.
Fucking not bad.
motherfucker.
Very clever.
Hi to Michaela. Hi to Cave Fur.
Michaela.
Hi to Mattery's Pizza Grill.
Hi.
Hi to Crumb. OVO Cool Cat wants to know when are we rescheduling you for
Oh, for
MLC?
Christ's sake.
Maybe Monday.
Whatever.
It'll be soon.
How many times do I keep saying yes at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah, yeah.
Who?
Listen,
I've
somebody
done
got attacked by a nunchuck wielding
Yeah.
brother.
Howard,
and-
there's another show I used to host with a guy,
Oh.
or I was the whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Co-host, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
so-
I've been. He does his own show, and I've been coming on I've been said I'll come on as a guest because I don't care. I'll do it, whatever.
Okay.
But I've gotten rescheduled
We
now.
scheduled him, I think, Wednesday, and we had to bump him because somebody got attacked by a man with nunchucks,
Yeah.
and so we had to talk about that. And we didn't want you to.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to feel like you were just a side.
I thank
know.
you for that.
Yeah.
Side
So,
dish.
but yeah. So I mean, but it was actually on the books.
Okay.
And we were going to do it. So that's at least
All
progress.
right. Well,
right?
we'll figure
Next
it out.
week.
We'll
do
figure it out
whenever you're free.
It'll
baby.
happen. Well, okay.
And that's the folks.
A couple of things. Before we jump over to the other side, I want to say a bunch of headshots already went out. OVO, I think you should have yours soon, if not already. Please let us know, because I just remember, because forget writing OVO. But
Sure.
so, but I want to tell you.
OVO.
Who's
So
head?
okay, I'm going to tell you what happened. Here's
Yours.
Here's what we're doing. We have. I know this is a lot of a lot of
lot
this
of
is a
information.
lot
we
of
might
this is
just want to explain this to him off the air.
well, hold on.
if you want.
I can get through it. This
Right.
a lot of this is inside baseball right here.
Okay.
But like we do this show and then we do something called the Patreon, which is another
Right.
hour
Well,
of extra
I
show.
know.
Okay, fine.
Right here.
We decided as sort of a thank you to the people that are on the Patreon, where if you want, I had all these headshots. I needed some press photos taken. So
Right.
we said. I said to the gang, everybody, I said, look, if you want to send us your mailing address, I will sign a headshot and send it out to you. You know,
Nice.
kind of like Frankie Valley or something.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
just a-
I have one of those.
it's a bit
from-
of a throwback, right?
yeah.
Exactly. So we thought we'd do it, and we got a good response. So we got all these, So we've been collecting people's addresses, and I finally
Yeah.
a
Okay.
week ago. So this past Monday, I went to the post office with the first.
Oh, I forgot there's a post office store.
So I have a post office story. So I'll tell it now, and then on the Patreon we'll talk about whatever. But I think number one, if you're not on the Patreon, please get on the Patreon, because do that. You get your picture, blah blah blah, whatever. But you have to send us your mailing address. So there's that. And also, if you're on YouTube, please continue with the watch hours. It is important. It's free, and thank you.
Yeah, click on one of the playlists. We got one
Yeah.
with guests, without guests.
Just click on it and let her roll.
Maybe I'll make a Hollywood Howard playlist.
that would be.
Ooh,
Just
that'll
all
be
Howard.
a big seller.
Oops.
All
All
Howard, all
Howard.
the
Oops.
time. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
The
I haven't. You have my permission.
the book banning, the Fahrenheit 451 of
works.
of
Right.
the Brian McCarthy.
But if
interview
you can
show.
just click on that and then you can just
Yeah.
let it run, it'll just keep going.
we
through,
set it up on the channel. Adam set it up on the channel where all you do is you click on the playlist. That's all you have to do, and just open a browser window on your laptop and just let it go and go and go.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway,
Fun.
Uh-huh.
enough
All
about
right.
that. So
So what happened with this post office?
I'll tell you. So I have my 13. I live right across the post office, like right there. So I go to the post office, and I actually, these days I always feel like nobody ever goes to the post office.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
It's like a civic duty.
Nobody or everybody.
Yes,
Because you either go
yes.
there and the line is
Right,
27
Tax
people, and the 26th person wants to know if they can open up another window. Why
yeah,
they can't.
that's
open
like
up
the
another window.
Seinfeld where the
Yeah.
lady in front of him got the last marble rye. Yeah.
Sure.
I get
Give me
that.
give me
Give me that.
Give me
Do
that
that.
your old bag.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
Okay.
You guys
Anyway,
want to blow
sorry
each
about
other?
that.
What
Yeah,
the
we
fuck? All right.
probably.
So
Probably
anyway,
gonna take a lewd,
yeah.
so we don't remember it.
Let's take some loot.
Let's take it. You guys just need a half. Don't worry. Take a Tylenol.
Take
I
the
think you'd be
lewd
gay
off.
enough. Don't worry. Yeah. So okay. So I go to the post office. The woman there, one of my kids needed a new passport. So I was just in the post office. So the woman kind of, recognizes each other.
Sure.
I give her all these big unbendable photo envelopes. I give them to her, and she goes, okay, there's no return address on these. And I said, well, I'm kind of a big deal celebrity, and
Yeah,
I
you
can't
have people.
I can't be able knowing where I live, because it's going to start a big problem with the building and the block, and
Yeah.
it'll just be the city
It's
issue.
gonna be like TRL out the window.
I live too close to the UN. That could be
Right,
a problem with
exactly.
national security.
Gonna have
Yeah.
a bunch of screaming teenagers.
Yeah,
rec-
the
trying to re-
Palestinian
trying to request
protesters.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Throwing their granny panties in the window.
Sure.
and- right, exactly.
Can't have it.
No,
No.
it'll be like it'll be a regular jigaboo parade.
Right.
So anyway,
R.I.P. Mr.
That was
Wally.
good how you worked that in.
thank you very much. So she says to me, of course, Mr.
That's
McCarthy,
smart.
Mr. McCarthy, I understand. She goes, but I can't use our, the machine that they use
Really?
because you
won't
don't.
read.
She goes, but we can work around this. She goes,
Uh-huh.
we're just gonna have to weigh these. A couple of them are international. She goes, we're gonna weigh them, and I'm just gonna give you the right amount of stamps. So and you can just,
then you just drop them.
I can
you
just
drop
stamp them,
them in.
right? So,
Sure.
and I tell her, but now I'm kind of like, fuck, because look, I've got this vision thing, but I try not to like engage it
Yeah.
unless I'm at the airport, so in
Right.
which case then I turn into
Right.
Henry Keller.
Right.
Am I on the
Right.
aeroplane? Is this TWA? I need the 415 at Idlewild. I'm flying non-smoking, please.
Yes.
Nothing too close to the
You-
propeller.
It also gives you no concept of time.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah,
think it's
I
the
mean,
50s.
Right. Yeah.
Weirdly.
Right. Where's yes?
Oh, well.
Do I need to? Right. Do I have enough ration stamps for a ham sandwich on this?
Yes.
We're-
Enough green stamps.
Yeah, we're
Right.
flying to Syracuse. We're stopping 4 times to refuel.
Uh,
It's so long ago when you fly, they just give you a scarf and goggles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
So anyway, so I say to the woman, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I said, but I have like a vision thing. I won't be able to tell if they're all the same size. She's like, all right, don't worry about it. She's like, we'll figure this out. This is all taking under 3 minutes. Then I turn around and there's some people behind me in line now.
Not happy.
So they open another line next to me. This little old lady, she comes up, right? She comes up to her window. They open the window, and there's another guy. Now, this guy I also remember from getting the thing for the what do you call it? The
Passport?
Passport. Thank you. And nice guy. And the woman comes up, and of course, like she's got the wrong. It's express. It's supposed to
Oh,
be
boy.
priority.
Yeah, of
Second
course.
day, one of her fucking boxes is like leaking.
Yeah.
Like it's just
You
like
wrap the
the work.
cat.
yeah, she wrapped it.
The
It's a
whole-
mess. It's
The
just like
whole thing.
she
Uh-huh.
comes up, and of course it's his fault that she fucked all this up, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's so because number one, as a sidebar, my neighborhood, we lead the nation in little old ladies. I mean, this
Ooh.
is like
Yeah, that's true.
there's fucking
Yeah.
7 on every
Yeah,
corner.
Right.
They've outlived the husbands.
I
Right.
mean, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these are people that outlived their children.
Okay.
So,
that
a
happens
lot of
too.
walkers with tennis balls on. the
yeah,
bottom.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so anyway, so she comes up, but they're so she's taught, and the guy goes, is Indian guy, and he goes, oh, listen, well, here I'm going to give you, and he gives her a piece of paper,
Mhm.
and he's making an X on it, and he goes, all you have to do is take this over, please, and you have priority instead of express. Blah, 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 blah. And it was like 2 things, and this is all happening like 6 feet away from me, and he goes, well, as soon as you're done, come back to me. Don't wait in line. And she goes, well, why do I have to go over there? And she points at me, and she goes, he's been here all day. So now, typically,
Old
I would
days.
sort of
That's so
maybe
cute.
even ignore that,
Yeah.
but fuck this cunt. So I
That's-
look over,
There you go.
I look at her, and I said, are you referring to me, madam?
And did you say
Uh-oh.
madam?
Yes, I did.
Uh-oh, the
Okay.
tone, the
Oh
tone.
God.
Because
the
here's what I
tone.
have
Now
learned.
you're like a catty old gay
No,
guy
here's what I've learned.
fighting.
Here's what I've learned about old ladies in New York.
Sure.
They're like a howitzer. They got one good one in them,
That's
Yeah.
right.
and they're
Well,
not.
it's like prison too. You want to fucking if you
Yes.
stand up to them
Yes.
the first
exactly.
day.
Yeah.
But she was
The
but
littlest old lady.
They're not going to go back and forth.
No, they're not
So-
going to go back. They don't have the energy to go.
Yeah,
back.
they've got enough in them where they can like they'll give you their best out of the
right.
gate.
but it's a
Right.
facade.
Oh, it's
I had no idea.
they are paper tigers.
I had
Paper
no
towel.
Yeah.
idea. That's
If you ever
good to
meet
know.
an old lady on the street, start screaming at
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that'll ward them off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should initiate it.
Yeah, and
actually.
just
Interesting.
out of the gate. Take the initiative.
The best
right.
defense is a good offense.
Thank
Always.
Yeah.
Rule
So,
number 1 at
With
West
little
Point.
old lady.
First thing you learn at West Point:
you. So I turned to her
attack, attack,
Yep.
attack.
and I said, Torah, Torah, Torah.
That too.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So
Gesundheit.
I say to her, I go,
Uh-huh.
and this is more or less, I'm not even paraphrasing. I go, are you referring to me, madam? And she just looks away. And I said, let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Number one, I'm like 90% blind. I
Uh-huh.
said, number two,
doesn't.
mind your own business. Stay in
Wow.
your
lane.
I said, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Okay.
Stay in your lane.
And I looked at her and I said, are we good?
Are we good?
And she just looked
That was
away.
mean.
Fuck her
No,
forever.
but you got to learn though. You got to learn.
Just, you know what?
She
You know,
won't learn.
they're bullies. These
She's
old-
an old-
Because you go through life thinking just because I'm little and old, I can be real confrontational. Nobody's gonna call me on
Plus,
it.
like she
Yeah, well,
showed,
this asshole.
she was
Yeah.
fucking. She showed
a
up with the
vigilante.
wrong thing. Look,
Right.
What are you, the guy who
What? Go ahead.
strangled the guy on the subway or something? What are
Okay,
you?
I don't know what that means. I don't ride the subway. Ugh.
Mm.
But anyway,
No, I mean
so
you read it in the paper.
I
I don't mean you
understand.
ride
I
the
know.
subway.
Oh,
God
Howard.
forbid.
I know. Could you imagine? What's
What's
going on down there? What am I, a
Nothing
chud?
good.
Right.
Am I one of the chuds?
What's a
Yeah.
chud?
A cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller?
Oh, okay.
The movie from
Oh,
the
I
80s.
love that.
So anyway,
Is that
so,
the title
so
of the
then
movie?
can I just finish the fucking story,
Just
Howard?
tell me if it's the title.
Yes, it's
of
the
movie.
title.
Yeah.
It's C period H period
I
U
got it.
period D.
D.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
period.
right.
You can find it on Laserdisc and beta.
Not double D.
The double D's. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. The Chud's Titty Fuck, Volume
Woo!
2. Electric.
So you
So-
say
so
What
then-
happened?
So I say to the
fuck
woman,
right on.
I go, no, I didn't.
No,
listen,
I know.
No, he didn't
know,
use
but
that language.
hold on. I didn't use any foul
I know.
language. But I'm just saying I didn't. I would have.
Yeah,
though.
but
It
you
was-
stood
I-
up to her.
Well, I said to her, I said, so then it just kind of, and it's one thing you have to love about New York. The woman behind the counter, she doesn't say
Uh-oh.
shit. The guy doesn't say, because they hate these people too.
Of course.
And because you have to be sort of careful. If I would have said, you fucking old bag of
Right,
bones,
exactly.
then I would have been in trouble.
Right.
But I
Right. Then
merely
it's on you.
asserted myself forcefully.
You know what I think?
So then
Sorry.
the greatest thing about that is, so now I now start acting like I'm really blind just to have some fun.
Right.
I'm
You're
holding
dropping things.
Yeah, I'm holding the thing above my head. I go, is this an aero mail? This one's going to
You're
Japan.
playing up.
How much more? Excuse
Yeah.
me. Excuse me.
Playing up.
Do you have any stamps that are tactile? I
Mhm.
can't read Braille, but the ridges on the stamp, I can count them to know how much postage it will be. Can someone tell me what dollar bill I have? Is it a $1 or $1 million? So I'm just over
Well,
here.
that's
like,
where I got him.
Yeah, you're playing it up.
I'm playing it up.
Playing
So
it
then
up.
I hear the woman next to me as she's gathering all of her fucking packages to some grandkids that fucking hate her anyway, and she's getting all her shit to go back to a little
It's
table
mean.
with her cracked nail polish all chipped, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
We're speculating.
and yeah, like a dead dog in her fucking shopping bag, you know.
You didn't like her.
And so she goes to the guy behind the counter. She goes, "Can you help me write these? I have arthritis." So I just go,
no.
"Oh, now who needs an accommodation?" And I look at her and I went, "How the wheel turns."
Wait, you really said this?
Yes, I promise
Oh,
you I said
wow.
that.
Do you
Yes.
think she got that? That's a little bit
I don't know what the
metaphoric.
fuck she
you
did.
know?
I just got
Okay.
out of there. I just left.
And you
And then
exited on
I
that
left.
line. You
And
said how the
scene.
wheel
How do you
turns.
think you were
And
perceived?
then
How
with
was
a
your?
whoosh.
Did you get a good favorability rating?
Number one,
from the
I don't-
crowd, or how did
Number
that?
one, I
what do
was
you
not
think?
insulting. I did not use bad language.
Right.
I was
Right.
just forceful and I didn't take her shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an old lady. You.
Yeah, fuck her. She's
Yeah.
listen, I'm still legitimately like disabled.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
Well,
She-
now she does.
Here's the thing. You don't get in, you know, yeah, now she does. You don't get in line to say, hey, my temper's not disabled. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that, boys.
Amen.
Certainly not.
You don't just because you can't wield your elderly like a sword. You know what I mean? Like you're older. Like here's the thing.
I'm wielding
And
my elderly.
2 seconds and then we'll get to the Patreon. Number one, my grandfather, who I loved dearly, right? He was one of these old guys who didn't give a shit. He was the nicest guy to everybody. And you know why? He came up during the Depression. So he knows real hardship. No matter how old you are now, they fucking complain because they all came up in the late 40s and 50s
Hey,
when everything was kind of perfect.
you watched that.
Yeah, you could buy a house in Amagansett for $1,200.
That's what we did.
Yeah. So when you look at like old people, like from 30 years ago, those old people, they would like eat a potato and made them last all week.
Right.
They wouldn't give a shit about waiting in line for 2 minutes.
That's when America was great.
Oh,
My
boy.
That's what I've
point-
been saying.
My
Oh,
point
boy.
is the new old people, like people that are a little
Like
older
me,
than
right.
you. No, a
You're-
little. No.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, but yeah, you're 6 months away. Trust me. You're right.
I'm a month away.
No, you would.
brother. I'm a
Howard,
month
Howard
away.
would complain quietly to whoever he was with. You wouldn't be like.
Yes.
I don't think you would
No,
make a
once in a
scene.
while I make a scene.
You'll make a
I
scene?
lose my temper, I have to
Oh
say.
wow.
Let's never.
I've worked on it all my life because I have very short fuse by
Right.
nature. I've worked on it. Usually I'm good. Once in a while.
Well, let's not forget R.I.P. James getting a pickle thrown at himself in Zabar's. Or
I'm
throw,
sorry.
Oh,
You know the story.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
James.
James
Yeah.
Besser. Jimmy
Yeah.
Besser.
Oh, R.I.P. I'm sorry.
how
Oh
soon
my
we
God,
forget.
where am
Late
I? The
James
drugs are wearing
Besser.
off now. He got a pickle
Yeah.
thrown at him at
Yeah, he
Zabar's.
wouldn't wear a mask in Zabar's, so a woman threw
Who
a
threw
pickle at him.
One of the managers?
No,
Uh,
like a
just some late. I think
some-
just some ladies.
Yeah, but they didn't understand who it was.
Well, I
he's
don't. I think you could say that
eccentric.
for the rest
He
of the
was
population too.
eccentric.
He sure was.
But
I
we
think
loved
though, I
him.
think weirdly though, you're the thing about like old ladies and altercations is I'm not saying it's unique just to this neighborhood, but there's definitely a higher concentration.
Yes.
Because when I moved here 17 years ago,
Yes.
I had a job at a cafe it was kind of like a little bit closer to like Hunter College, but it was Upper East Side. And I will say the amount of altercations that happened between the people from Trinidad that worked at the cafe and little angry old ladies and men. I mean, I saw more altercations in the 2 weeks that I worked there than the preceding or what? Yeah.
Yep.
16 years, 17 years of living.
Right.
I have not seen that many altercations. It's like, I don't know why there's so many angry old ladies.
Clash.
But it's
Now,
like, yeah, exactly.
But
it was very much a culture clash.
If you can summarize the ethnicity of the angry old ladies, what would be your profile?
White.
Yeah.
Yeah, white
white.
and what though?
I don't
There's
know.
a lot of white.
I
don't know.
I don't
angry,
know.
white and angry.
Look,
No.
And old.
Wasp,
old?
Wasp old ladies don't behave that way.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is Jews.
Maybe.
these are
and
Jews.
Catholics, mostly Jews.
These are mostly.
I don't know. I didn't ask them who they prayed to. I just was like,
no, there's a huge difference.
Either
huge difference.
take the soup or you got to go.
Oh, so you got angry?
No, I mean, but
That's
I would
why
have
you
to be
got
like, guys,
fired.
we got to move it along. No. I got the fuck out of there because it was.
Yeah, a wasp would just grit their
No, the
teeth and
wasps
they would
don't
be
do
too
that.
embarrassed to
Wasps
act like
don't
that.
do
Yeah,
It's
no,
the Jews.
I agree. It is
Okay.
the Jews.
They make
Alright.
trouble everywhere
They
go.
really do.
Well,
And by the way, I know I keep saying this,
that'll
but
be we'll end.
yeah. On that note, no, you know what I
Boy,
found?
I've got a lot of
You know what I found on YouTube, which is pretty crazy?
what?
I found YouTube. There's a you know what AI is, right? So there's a
No,
Artificial
I
intelligence.
never heard of that.
okay. Well, there's a thing now where they're taking all of Hitler's speeches
Yes.
and they're turning them into
Yes.
English, but it's in the same inflection
Beautiful.
Okay.
as
I
what
love it.
I'm listening to this. I'm like, this guy's got a point. And I hate to say it, but but he's talking. But a lot of it is early 30s Hitler, like
Yeah.
before he went off the rails a little
Yeah.
bit. It's a lot of it is like Versailles, Treaty of Versailles,
Yeah, revenge.
and revenge, and a lot of stuff.
They stabbed us in the back, but even then, it was the Jews stabbed us in the back on the First World War.
Well, the industrialists and the
Well, the
financiers.
bankers,
Yeah,
the
the bankers.
financiers.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, folks.
Rothschild and those guys. To be continued.
As Howard says, the Jews had it coming. I want to
Right.
thank all of you for Howard. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure.
We are going to jump over to the Patreon for a few minutes, and thank you, everybody. Remember,
Patreon.com/Brian McCarthy.
And get
If you
the-
want to join, and then you could send your. Oh, and somebody asked
go ahead.
where they should send the photos. I mean, any social media platform, really.
Well, if you what you're talking about the address?
no,
You mean?
to send a photo with the photo.
Oh yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll find it.
Tag, just put it up and tag.
Yeah, Tag it or we'll
Brian.
find it and let us know if you send it. But yeah, typically, I mean, Patreon through Patreon is the easiest way to do it. But if you want to do it on Instagram or whatever, TikTok or that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll find it. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.